Do you think about the Killing Joke? Like, is this something you've wanted to do for years, or is this fairly?
Well, this is actually a new experience for me. I was not as familiar with it. I had heard of it, of course, because it's famous and it's iconic, but I'd never actually read it. And Mark introduced me to it. And once I got turned on to it, I thought, oh my God, I so want to be a part of this. It's dark, and you really get to explore areas of Batman and the Joker that you haven't seen before. And that's why they had to go with an R rating, because there's just, you couldn't be true to the story without doing that. So I love doing it. And Mark, it's just we have a special relationship working together.
Now, the producers have talked about how you need to do the story this way so they don't regret the R rating, but they do kind of feel bad about, you have a Batman movie that kids can't watch. For you, who you haven't done every Batman they've done recently, but you're kind of my generation's Batman, is it interesting to kind of grow up with us at this point?
It is. It is. And what's interesting is trying to keep it fresh and keep it consistent all these years. And I love coming to the Comic-Cons because now I get the parents and the next generation, the kids, that they're introducing to the character. Because these shows are still so fresh. Even the ones from the 90s are still, you look at them, they're like they were just made. They're so beautifully done. And I get different generations of audience now. And that's a wonderful thing to be able to share with the audience.
Now, obviously the process and the animation and everything is wildly different when you look at the features versus something like Justice League Action. Does that affect your process at all, or is it more or less still the same work?
The nice thing about animation is that the actors are done first. We record first. So you're recording, it's almost like a radio play, like those old-fashioned radio plays. So we get to, our acting is not going to be influenced by what the artwork's going to be like down the road. And then the vocal tapes are sent to the artists. And their inspiration comes from that. So the actors are really taking their inspiration from the story, not from the way it's going to be rendered.
Now, I think that one of the interesting things about The Killing Joke, and Bruce kind of touched on this, is that there's not really a traditional superhero third act. Like, Batman doesn't get to come in and kick ass and have the big action sequence. For you as a voice actor, did that give you kind of almost an obligation to explore a different territory?
Well, actually, for a voice actor, it's great, because those big kick-ass action scenes, there's no voice acting in. There's just grunting. And that's a lot of big, there are big sections of each show where all we're doing is grunting and groaning. There's not a lot of acting involved. So since that's not in this, there's so much more acting. So for us, it was great that didn't exist.
Now, you've done like 19 different iterations of Batman at this point. If you had in, 20 words to say why The Killing Joke is something that you think everybody should kind of rush out and see, what is the big appeal of this Batman?
Wow. It's the iconic conflict of good and evil, more so than in any of the other Batman incarnations.
Well, thank you very much, sir. I appreciate your time.
Take care.